Creativity is a gateway. Here's why.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking about how creativity is a gateway of past and future. And it is an amazing understanding because when we're looking at creativity, especially from a chakra standpoint, chakras are energy vortexes in our body, okay? And we're mainly looking at two chakras, right? We're looking at the sacral and we're looking at the throat chakra. Now, the sacral chakra creativity is very unconscious, it's subconscious, whereas the throat chakra is actually very consciously willed, okay? So this one is more consciously willed, like I'm going to have to push a little bit if I want to say something or resonate or sound a very specific way. Now, a lot of the times our unconscious creativity and conscious creativity aren't matching up, and that's what causes writer's block. That's what causes distress in a lot of times. So either people's hearts are blocked or this entire channel, maybe their solar plexus is blocked, they're not taking enough action, right? This entire channel becomes blocked and then your creativity becomes blocked, essentially. I get a lot of people coming to me who are hyper creative. I've been hyper creative since a very young age as well, so I understand them when I speak their language, in a sense, where I get painters, I've got healers coming to me, actors, playwrights, athletes, you name it, the most creative individuals, musicians, right? And all of whom I have helped, I start to understand one common thread. And that common thread is they get into a pattern of their past or a past trauma or something where they get looped on it. It becomes like a loop or a pattern that they can't break, right? And oftentimes creativity gets blocked for a lot of individuals. This is primarily also because to be creative is to be fully spiritual, is to be allowing, right, things to come in. You're the conduit for this creativity to take place. However, sometimes you got to consciously turn on your creativity. That's what it takes for an artist. They can't show up tense or with pressure. They've got to ease themselves in the most exact way possible. And in their own way, honestly, in their own way. So I want to give you guys an exercise for creativity that will really, really boost your creativity. And this is a very powerful one, because it can go any which way your subconscious mind allows. So what we're doing is we're bringing up the subconscious creativity and we're merging it with the throat chakra element, right? The sound and the movement is the sacral, right, is matching up. So this is a little bit weird, but bear with me. So this is what I'm going to show you. This is how it is. I want you to be moving around the room with your eyes closed, okay? Now notice if you bump into any objects, be aware, just be conscious. You're not gonna bump into anything if you have awareness around you, okay? And you feel around using your hands. Feel it, right? You feel around. So first we start with this, just an exploration of your space. Okay, make sure you don't have too sharp objects around or whatever, right? Like you're feeling your feet on the ground and you're just walking. Okay, you're walking. And now what I want you to do is add a sound to the movement. So it could be a buzz, it could be it could be ah, it could be it could be ooh, it could be ah, it could be whatever sound feels the most natural to you, okay? I want you to start exploring the sounds that come up subconsciously. And find a rhythm as you do this. Find a rhythm within your movement and your sound. Here's an example. I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, oh, I. That's just an example, right? But you can get really creative with this, right? Because it can be silly, it can be goofy, it can go however many ways that you want it to go. You can say sentences in there, but I recommend the sound, the humming, the frequency. You're looking for a frequency, okay? And if anybody challenges you, like, what are you doing? You know, you just tell them that you're doing light language, okay? That's your get out of jail free card. If people ask you what in the world you're doing, you tell them you're channeling light language, okay? Okay, great, fantastic. Now we have this exercise sorted. Now, you want to really explore the resistance in your body. Like, what does your body not want to do automatically? Notice the dogma that the body carries, okay? The body has certain preconceptions and ways that it feels the most safe in its own survival container, okay? And we're slowly playing with this. So, hey, a certain movement might trigger a certain emotion for you, but that's why we're doing this, okay? We're exploring the link, the alignment between unconscious and conscious creativity. And we are letting it emerge. We're letting it emerge. Whatever the sound we're getting from within, we're letting it emerge. And through that process, we're trusting our inner voice, our inner sound, okay, our inner frequencies coming out and keeping us in a specific tone. And it's revealing to us that tone. So we've got to follow it. We've got to trust in it, to have faith that it is God, to perceive these sounds as God itself channeling you, right? And understanding that in a lot of churches, people speak in tongues and they, would roll on the floor. My belief is that looks very similar to a lot of trauma relief, right? If you ever seen videos of people who are, going through a trauma, they're doing something very similar to that. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong idea, obviously, because these exercises, they're primarily very nouveau, and you're going to have to experiment with them. Obviously, you have to set up your own rule and container with this thing and have your own rule of ethics, because it's really important that before you explore any kind of practice, you set up a boundary for yourself where you're like, I'm not going to cross this line. I'm going to lean into this area to help my vocal cords out. I'm going to lean into this area because my posture is messed up. I'm going to lean into this area because, I want to sound more mature. Whatever it is that you want to work on, right? Set up a goal, set up an intention and a container before you step into this synchrony journey, okay? So, creativity is old ideas with new insight, right? So you're taking all the past and you're taking the potential for the future, and you're finding the link, right? The psychic link between both, and you're in the present, in the spontaneity, and that's what creativity does. It's like in the moment, right? It's in the spontaneous moment of the now, of the nowness, of the eternitas, the now ever, as we like to call it. So just keep following the now ever. Whoa, I just make eye contact with a bird outside my window. It's fun to try this exercise and then you just start gibbering as well, like right? That's completely unfiltered, some kind of language that came out. I don't know what it is. Maybe some of you found certain words in your own culture that came up and you were like, oh wait, that word kind of sounds like that word in my culture that you said, right? And the thing about this gibbering is, of course, the unconscious language came from this gibbering. There's no pattern there, right? It's just randomness strung together in the now ever. But what you're learning to do is you're learning to ride the improvised tidal wave of this, and that will get you in that pocket of creativity. You're going to have to lose the mask or the identity of I have to look a very specific way and I must be a professional and I must have this and I must do that. You get too constrained, too perfectionist, you start to cause rigidity rather than flow. in this matrix, right? So what you want to practice is more of that flow, more of that fluidity, adaptability, weaving with the movements and allowing it not to be so clunky, right? I see a lot of people doing this exercise and they end up being like robots. And I'm like, that's not the point of the exercise, is to explore the movements, like really be able to, you know, explore, like a dancer will explore every single little crevice of their body, right, as they move. That's what I'm getting you to do, is you're doing that, but also in movement, okay? And as you do that, it may sound silly and weird to the rest of the world, but it's effective for you because you were leaning into the character that you most prefer to be. So if you're scared of looking silly, you're scared of doing these exercises, that's exactly why you should lean into this. Got it? Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you. Hope this helped you out today. Stay legendary. Let's get it to the upward spiral, gang. Boom.